Welcome to the Matt Chat channel. I'm Matt. I get the privilege of doing this channel for you. I'm also the owner of Chippewa Farms, and that is a local farm here in Lafayette, Indiana that I own. And our mission on that is to produce better food, better farms, and a better future. And we love getting the opportunity to do that and share some things that we've come across with you that will hopefully be a help to you as well. Today I want to talk about lamb meat. Lamb is something that I raise and I think is a great product and something that you should consider putting into your diet. Now, many Americans today have not had lamb. Matter of fact, when you ask many people, do you like lamb? Many of them right off the bat will say, no, I don't like lamb meat. My next question to them is, have you ever had it? And what is amazing is how many people will say, I've never actually had it. And so I want to give you some history here, because before the World Wars here in the United States, lamb was something that many people had eaten and consumed on a regular basis. Matter of fact, lamb meat was something that was really a staple food item here for Americans, and there were many lamb producers in the United States of America. Matter of fact, it was something that we had enough producers for lamb in the United States to take care of all of our lamb needs and export lamb to other countries. That is not the case today. Matter of fact, 80% of the lamb in the United States today is imported in from Australia and from New Zealand. And so that's a shame that those things have changed. So what took place there? Well, let me go back to in World War I time frame. And I want you to understand that our government here in the United States of America has a huge impact on food supply, food systems, and a lot of other systems here in America. And what happens is the government will have times where they have an agenda, and so they really channel things and really they produce supply and demand and control it. And that's something that we as consumers, as Americans, as farmers, need to make sure that we really know what's going on. And I want to challenge you, you need to make sure that you are educated on what is going on in our country, and you need to make sure that you know the truth when it comes to the food supply, food freedom. It's really, really important that we have producers of good livestock, good meat here in America, and that you have the ability to get that meat in your local area. So in the World War I time frame, the government started discouraging lamb consumption because they said there was such a need for wool production. And they needed wool for clothing, and especially clothing when it came to World War I and uniforms and things like that. So they started discouraging Americans from eating wool and the meat production, because they said they needed the wool. Which, once again, this doesn't line up, because you can certainly have wool production and meat production at the same time. And there's plenty of wool sheep out there, and there's plenty of sheep out there that are hair sheep breeds that don't even produce a wool, and so they could focus on meat production. So this was something that was happening in the World War I time frame. Then we come to World War II. And really what happened there is a lot of the food for the soldiers was a canned mutton, which is an older, tougher, lesser quality lamb meat that was canned. Many times have been canned for a long time and did not have the good taste to it. And that's what the soldiers received for their food. And so that literally soured the taste for a lot of these Americans, because the soldiers were talking about how bad that lamb meat was. It was not a good representation of what lamb meat really is, but that word started spreading around the country. And then during that World War II time frame, we started doing a lot of synthetic fabrics. And so we started discouraging the use of wool for wool sheep, and saying there's not really a need for that, because we can go to synthetic fabrics And so that really cut back those two things on the lamb production. I'm not talking a lot about this here, but I want to tell you this. It's important for you to know that there's quite an agenda with synthetic fabrics, and a lot of the synthetic fabrics are not good for our bodies, and it is something that we ought to be going back to a wool and a cotton for our clothing. That's another video, but it's worth you acknowledging there that the government had, and our United States government definitely had an agenda in pushing synthetic fabrics and the profits that they would get from that, and taking that away from the lamb producers. So with all of that, then all of a sudden the government really started producing these large cattle and hog operations, and confinement operations for hogs, and CAFOs, and these cattle operations, and really all of that has just all but killed the lamb production here in the United States of America. Throughout the world, there's still a lot of lamb that is consumed. The United States of America needs to get back to having farmers raise lamb, and then also having educating our consumers about how good lamb meat is. Now, today in America, most of the lamb production, or the lamb consumption rather, is done by ethnic groups and little niche markets. That means some religious groups, and a lot of Jewish folks and a lot of Muslims eat lamb. So these ethnic groups, and then there's a lot of these little niche markets where you can find it here and there, but it's not near what it has been. It's not near as prominent today. So today, about 80% of the lamb that we have in America has come from Australia and New Zealand. So there's kind of the history and where we're at today here in America. Let me talk about why you should raise lamb, why you should eat lamb. If you like meat, why should you eat lamb meat, and why should you give it a try? And I will say that it is important, if you're a consumer and you're looking to try this out, it's important the breed of lamb and how the lamb was raised for what you're going to try. And so if you need more information about that, certainly feel free to give me a comment or reach out to me. I can help you with that. But there's quite a difference in the flavoring and the taste on and then also the health benefits of the lamb based upon how it's raised. But if it's raised correctly and it's the right kind of lamb, here's what the benefits are for eating lamb. Of course, it's high in protein, and a lot of good meat is high in protein. The lamb is right up there with them. Lamb is also rich in iron, the good kind of iron that your body needs. And of course, if you have struggles with health issues on iron deficiencies, lamb is a great product for you on that. Lamb also is high in the omega-3 fatty acids, and maybe a little higher than some of the other meats. And that's important because those omega-3 fatty acids really are very good for your heart, and that's why lamb and goat, of course, is very good for your heart and heart health. It's good for brain function. But then also there's a lot of research that talks about how it's really good for reducing inflammation. And I think this is one that, and I'm not a medical doctor, but I can tell you that I think the lamb meat does help in those areas. And so heart health, brain function, reducing inflammation, these are good. And then also something called CLAs, which you can do a lot more research on this, the conjugated linoleic acids. And these are interesting. There's a lot of research out on there. But if these are coming from the right source, it's a unique fat, and the right benefits of this with moderation is that it helps out with bone density, weight management, blood sugar regulation. Athletes are big on this and having this. And again, if you're doing a supplement with this and it's a synthetic form of this, then it's not good. It's not what you want. But if you're getting it naturally, a good fat from an animal like lamb meat, it can really help you. There's a lot of studies on this about helping to manage your weight and help you with that. And I think this is another reason why when you're looking at the carnivore diet, you can see some real results that take place in the carnivore diet. And a lot of people say, well, how is that possible with eating primarily meat? And that's because the nutrient dense good meat that doesn't have the junk in it, has, I believe, been made by God for our bodies to take that, convert it, and to use it to what our bodies need. And so all of this to say, look, if you've not tried lamb, I want to encourage you to do so. Remember, though, it matters where you're getting your lamb, the sourcing of your lamb, the breed of your lamb, how it was raised. All of that's going to affect the flavor. But it's good for your body, and it will definitely help your body to create better health. I love it. I think it's great. I want to encourage you to try it. If this was a help to you, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe. And look, if you're around the Lafayette area and you'd like to try some good lamb, be sure and reach out to me. We've got some available for you at a great price. I think you'll love it. It'll change your life. So, hey, thank you for joining me today. Look forward to seeing you next time.